Testing 1, 2. That seems to work. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep, that one's working.
Number 2.
I'll do this one. Turn that one on and do that one. That's live.
So it's
Yeah, it's on.
testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's on. Good deal. And then Kara's going to use this one. So
Is that tested?
she hasn't tested it yet, but she'll be back in here. Winch I can't count on. He looked at me and said, "Oh, we got the recruit. We got the recruit here again." Do you want to test this one for me?
Sure.
Whoa!
Fell on my
dear.
foot. Good to go.
No, can't hear you. Oh, maybe I don't have that one on yet. Duh. That's why. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yep. Now you're good. Good.
I rephrased it.
That was a good plan.
It's on now.
Testing, testing. Can everybody hear me in the back row?
I think very good.
Play a little game here. Find the general manager. Where is the general manager? How about you on 990 out there? Can you find the general manager? Oh, okay, enough of the fun and games.
Missing from. Yep, got it. We got it.
We're going to be on in about 1 minute here or so. 2 minutes here or so. How's everybody today? Enjoying the warmer weather today? The less cold weather. Did everybody pay their $10 entrance fee today? We have a new policy with the management company for paying speakers during the paying the speaker during the manager's meeting. That went over like a lead balloon.
We think it's true.
Just trying to see who has a sense of humor out there. It's going to be a tough day today. All right. About another half a minute, so we're here. Carol's sitting in the second row today. That's a little too close for comfort for me, but we'll go with it. I think I'm outside of striking distance anyway.
Now I'm closer, I can hear.
All right, Ken,
Thank you.
you're in a dangerous position right there. All right, well, welcome everybody to the first managers meeting of 2025, and it's good to see all of you here. The attendance is a little bit lighter than normal. I'm thinking maybe perhaps that with the less frigid temperatures, maybe some people are outside enjoying a walk today or getting some exercise or something. Well, today is going to be another update version of the managers meeting. There are lots of things to continue to update all of you about going on around the cooperative here. But before I get into updates, I'm going to turn it over to Kara, our resident activities coordinator, and she is going to do another session on RAC committees to generate lots of enthusiasm for signing up as a volunteer with one of these committees come March. And then when Kara is done, Jake is going to come up and talk for just a couple of minutes for things that he's attending to. So without further ado, Kara, come on up and
Thank you.
let us know about committees.
Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great year. It's cold. I'm not happy about it, but we'll deal with it. While my computer's getting up and going, I wanted to start by telling everybody that, reminding everybody that Ethnic Week starts on Sunday. We have a whole week of programming planned. I'm sure you guys all got this in your mailboxes a week or two ago, and I hope you look at the schedule. And why is the computer not starting up? Oh, there it is. Look at the schedule. Attend as many events as you can because there's so much going on, such a variety of programs and performances and educational opportunities and fun stuff. And everyone in the community is invited to everything. And we want to see everybody there. And the committee, it's a perfect lead into what I'm going to talk about today. The committee, all volunteers, all people in the community, pulled this week together and did research, went out in the field, made phone calls, made overtures, talked to people, just worked really hard to get all this programming together and pull together an amazing week of programming. And it was all your neighbors, volunteers, the committee that pulled it all together. And so many pieces came from so many people in this community, and I'm grateful, and I hope you all are grateful for all these efforts that the volunteers did. That's the lead-in. Thank you. Thanks to all the volunteers. That's the lead-in to what I'm talking about, and we're going to revisit the theme that we started last month. Our volunteers are superheroes. Everything that goes on in this building is done or coordinated by volunteers. And those are your neighbors. Those are the people that live down the hall from you or another floor away. And the things that happen in this building would not happen without volunteers. And I'm here to encourage everybody in this community to volunteer at whatever level works for you. And there's so many different types of volunteer opportunities that you can participate in. Last meeting, we started talking about what the committees are. You remember what the committees are: the standing committees, the ad hoc committees, the activities committees. The activities committees let's circle back. What's a committee? It's a group of people that work together for a common goal. That's what we're talking about. RAC. Everybody remembers what RAC is, right? Resident Activities Committee. It's the governing committee that oversees the coordination of all the activities that happen in the building. There are 16 Resident Activities Committee, and they're all governed by RAC, which is led by a chair, Margie Ragetz, and a vice chair, Michelle Krakowski, and I'm your helper. I'm the Resident Activities Coordinator, and I'm the helper that pulls the pieces together and helps you all do what you do. These are the subcommittees. The ones that are in blue are the ones that we talked about in December. The ones that are in yellow are the ones that we're going to talk about today. And remember, the success of a committee is dependent upon the volunteers that bring their talents, their experience, their personal perspective, and their desire to participate with their positive attitude to pull these activities together and make these great contributions to your committee. This is what causes successful committees, or what helps committees be successful. Remember what this means? What's in it for me? The most important thing that you as a member of this community have to figure out is why you want to volunteer and what you hope to get out of volunteering. And everybody's got different things that they want. Some people have this burning desire to organize. Some people have this wealth of knowledge that they really want to share with somebody else. But if you go into a committee with expectations that not knowing why you're doing it, figure out what you want and why you want to do it, and find the place where what you want matches the opportunity. And I'm telling you, there are so many opportunities in this building where your talents are going to contribute, and you're going to get back things that make you feel better or things that you want to get back. Connecting with members of the community, sharing your experiences, contributing your time and your talents, and learning in personal growth. We have to keep learning. We always have to keep growing. And participating in committees and community activities helps us to keep learning and helps us to keep growing. Okay, here we go. Committees. Life Enrichment is an amazing committee. They bring educational programs and opportunities to your community. They plan and schedule programs, approximately 2 to 3 per month. Each member of the committee brings their own ideas and their own opportunities to that committee, and the committee discusses them and decides what works for the community and what doesn't, and they decide that as a group. It's not one person deciding, we're going to do this, this, and this. It's a group of people that discuss all these ideas that come to the meetings, to the committee, and say, yeah, this is good, that might not work, or we need to look a little bit deeper into this. The committee creates a balanced schedule of speakers. It's not all the same thing. It's every presentation is different. There may be themes that run through, but every single one is different. And the members share the responsibilities between reaching out to presenters, coordinating events, introducing speakers here in the CAC, ushering, and doing other tasks. So it's a shared responsibility that brings all these presentations to your community. And the commitment, the baseline commitment is 1 meeting a month for about an hour. Beyond that, you can choose how much you want to participate or how much you can, how much you're willing to, and you can dip your toe in and grow with the opportunity. Ideal candidates. Are you connected with resources or educational programs in the community? What have you done in your life? Who do you know? What do you think is interesting? Do you have ideas that you think are interesting, that you think the community might agree with you? Or you think you have ideas that might be really new and innovative for the community that you think, you know, I need to wake somebody up by bringing in a new idea? Are you outgoing? Are you willing to pick up a microphone and do what I'm doing right now and present the speaker on the night of the performance? Are you willing to reach out and make a phone call to somebody that you might not know and just be bold and say, hey, I live at 7500 York. We have this great community of people who wants to hear new ideas. Would you like to come speak to us? Are you interested in sharing your ideas with the committee and working with that team to make them happen? Those are the candidates that we're looking for. WIFM, what's in it for me? What do the committee members get out of participating in that committee? They create relationships with people outside of the community and have a dialogue and create their own community outside of here. And they create relationships by collaborating with their committee members. Participating in lifelong learning. We have to keep learning. We have to keep growing. As a member of this committee, you are participating in that and facilitating it for your neighbors. It's an opportunity to bring new thoughts and ideas to your community. Do you have a different experience than somebody else that lives in the building that you think would be, you know, fun or interesting or different for them to learn? Do you like a committee environment that is social and where you can make personal connections, where you can create a friendship with a fellow committee member that transcends being on the committee? That's some of the things that you would get out of being on this committee. Fun and games. When I worked in nonprofit fundraising, we used to call ourselves FUN raisers because we tried to take every fundraising opportunity and make it FUN. This committee, their job is FUN. They sponsor all the gaming in the building, including all the card games, all the things that are on your calendar. They also coordinate the puzzle corner. They also sponsor ongoing activities, including the trivia nights, trivia days, the bingo nights, and the resident dances. This committee does a lot. They sponsor contests and games days. Games days are the indoor games and the outdoor games. Pool and ping pong activities, and they meet once a month for less than an hour. The committee does a lot. Ideal candidates. Do you like to have fun and participate in group gaming? There's a lot of gamers in this room, and there's a lot of game opportunities in the building. Do you enjoy the camaraderie that comes with group gaming? You make relationship, you make friends, you have people that you can sit and have an ongoing relationship week after week by playing games with and then planning things with in the committee. Do you like to collaborate? A lot of the things that this committee does are collaborative things. They come together and work out ideas and bounce ideas off each other. Are you willing to pitch in and participate in making sponsored events happen? Sponsored events are the dances, the outdoor games, the indoor games, the things that are outside of the regular schedule. When the committee is going to have a dance or an event, are you willing to say, I'll jump in, I'll help set out, I'll man a table, I'll do this? And are you a planner that likes to pull pieces together? You don't have to have all of these characteristics, but if any of this sounds like you, this might be a possibility for you. Okay, WIFM for the Fun and Games Committee. What's in it for me? What's in it for you? creating relationships with other people through group gaming and committee collaboration. Again, we learn and grow from everybody around us. Stress reduction. Social gaming reduces your stress. It gives you a focus that lets the other stuff fall away. And it's proven. And those of you who do the gaming every single week, you do it because it takes you away from the things that you don't want to deal with or you need a break from. Maintaining critical thinking skills that are reinforced in games of strategy. Card games, you got to think about it. You got to think about your next move. And it maintains critical thinking skills that if we sit around watching TV all day, they wither and die. Maintaining motor skills, manipulating cards, manipulating puzzles. It doesn't sound like that big a deal, but it is. I love doing crossword puzzles because it's geometric and it makes me think and it makes me see how things go together. Feeling the success of planning a successful event. Yeah, that's not worded very well. Planning a successful event that everyone enjoys. You did something fun, and the people that were there, they laughed, they smiled, they had a good time, and they left joyful. Bringing fun, joy, and companionship to your friends and neighbors. It feels good when you make a fun day and everybody goes away happy, doesn't it? Okay, next committee, the excursion committee. This is another good one. Outings for the community members. They plan and organize day trips. They present a variety of trip opportunities. And the committee meets every month for less than an hour. That's the basic commitment. Who's the ideal candidate? Now, this is important to think about. What do you know about the area? Do you know the resources and destinations in the area? And are there things that you know of that other people don't? Have you traveled and you want to share your experiences with other people? Some people have stayed within 5 square miles of their home. Some people have traveled all over the world. So those local people know the local stuff. The world travelers know the world stuff. And this is an opportunity to bring all those experiences together and provide opportunities to share those past times with other people. Are you a foodie? You like to eat? You like to try new food? This is an opportunity to introduce new restaurants, opportunities to share a meal with friends. Do you enjoy leading a group? Again, is it fun for you to pull people together and help guide them to a fun day? And are you an organizer? And are you interested in planning out the details of a day trip? You are not the only person on the committee. You are not the only one doing every single trip. The committee takes turns. Could you take on organizing and planning 1 trip a year? Give it a try. It's fun. Okay, WIFM. What's in it for me? What's in it for someone who joins this committee? There's a lot of people here that don't drive. If you are not a driver, this is an opportunity for you to visit and experience fun and interesting places. It's an opportunity to get out with a group of people and go to a museum, go to a show that you might not be able to otherwise because you don't drive. For those that are new to the area, there's a lot of people that did not grow up in Minnesota and don't know the things around here. This is an opportunity for you to experience things in your area and in the community that you had no idea were out there. And with the assistance of someone on your committee that knows what they're talking about and has brought this trip to the group, because they know how much fun it is, and to get you a little bit more integrated into the area. A chance to enjoy restaurants and share a meal with your friends. The fun of leading a group and introducing them to a new experience. Again, lead one trip a year. Take turns. The committee takes turns coordinating and leading trips based on what you're able to do. It also can help you increase your self-confidence by being a leader and by dipping your toe in and having a small group that is looking to you for some fun. And the time commitment is minimal. It's 1 meeting a month for less than an hour, and then taking on these trips if you're able to, and if you want to jump in. Last today, library committee. This is a really important piece of the community. I hope everybody here uses the library and understands that this group works hard to provide those resources for you. They maintain the member library and the reading resources, including the extra libraries in the building. They provide the local newspapers. They coordinate the books that come into the building from Hennepin County. So they order books from Hennepin County, they log them, they let you check them out, and then they bring them back in and return them to Hennepin County. By the way, there are books on Peru from the Hennepin County Library right now in the library that you can check out and read before Ethnic Week to get ready for the week. That's just an aside. And they meet very infrequently, and their meetings are so well organized. They meet once every 2 months for less than an hour, and everyone has an opportunity to share what they're doing at those meetings. Who is a good candidate? Do you have a knowledge of current and classic books? I'm sure almost everybody in this room does. I'm sure everybody in this room has their favorite reads. Do you have knowledge of how a library is organized and how it functions? I know there's a bunch of people in this building that have worked in libraries, have worked in education, have the basic information and the basic skills. If you have it and you want to use it, here's an opportunity for you. Are you a voracious reader? Yes. Are you interested in sharing your love of reading with your neighbors? There's nothing like recommending a book to somebody and they pick it up and read it and they thank you because they enjoyed it as much as you wanted them to. Are you interested in a low commitment job where your interests can contribute? We all have finite amounts of time. How much time do you have? How much time are you willing and able to contribute? Being a member of the library committee is a low time commitment job and very flexible. So if you don't have a lot of time, if you don't have a lot of energy, if you have a lot of other commitments, this is something you can still do and participate in and be a contributor. And do you have good computer or organizational skills? Not required, but a big plus if you do. With them. What's in it for me? If you want to join the library committee, what do you expect to get back? Reinforcing your love of books and learning opportunities. Where's a better place to do it? Enjoying change and renewal. How does it feel when you clean out a closet, right? It feels good when you can purge a shelf of books. It feels good when you have a pile of books and they have to get back to their orderly place. That's that feeling of spring cleaning kind of thing, and that's something that people enjoy. The satisfaction of making order out of chaos, same thing. Enjoying the comfort of a library environment. Who remembers their first library when they were a kid in grade school and how good it felt to go to that library, and it was a safe place and it was a comforting place and it had all these great stories and books and chairs and distractions that you remember. The library is that. The satisfaction of helping others in their quest for knowledge and enjoyment. Do you happen to have this book? Put my hand right on it and help you find the book that you're looking for. Gee, I need a new book. What do you think I should read? Helping somebody find a good read. And the joy of seeing your neighbor find their perfect read. Those are all things that you might get out of being a member of the library committee. Why is this here? We hear a lot of, well, I wish we could do this. Why don't we do that? Shouldn't we do this? Do you remember the lottery commercials? You can't win if you don't play, right? You can't expect change in your community. You can't expect progress in your community. You can't expect things to happen in your community if you don't participate. So we're not buying lottery tickets. We're learning about the opportunities, and we're taking the opportunity to participate at the level that works for us. Because you can't win. You can't get what you want. You can't expect to get what you want if you don't participate. So that's the message of the lottery ticket. And again, we invite you to join the team. The team needs you. The team wants you. The team is wanting to take you on at the level that you're willing to participate. And I personally appreciate all of you that participate. And we are looking forward to volunteer recruitment in March. Think about what you want to do. If anyone is new to the building and you want more information about the committees, this is our recruiting brochure from last year. It gives a brief overview of the committees. If you want a copy of this, come see me. I have extra copies. If you want any more information about committees, I'm always there with the door open. If you want to dip your toe in at a committee, contact the committee chair. Ask to sit on a committee meeting. Feel it out. See what you like, see what you don't like, but give it a try. And thank you, and hope to see you in all these committees, because I go to most of the meetings, so I know who's there. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Kara. Very informational and interesting, and hopefully something that's very helpful to all of the members here. Certainly, it is astounding to me, those of us on the staff, the number of volunteers we have and the number of volunteer hours and the talent among all of the members who volunteer. I will just share probably my first experience with a library, or one of them, was in high school, and I would go to the library to skip class. I would skip Greek mythology class and read a sports magazine. And with that, with some trepidation, I'm going to invite Jake up to share a little bit about a couple areas that he's working in.
Well, with that fine vote of confidence, I guess I'll go next. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jacob Watson. I'm the office manager. I hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I won't be as entertaining as I was this morning on 990 with a little baby with me for those who watched. Stole the show. But I do have a few things I wanted to mention to you. So, excuse me. This Friday, Megan and Hannah and some volunteers are going to be distributing the new member directory. It'll be placed in your box. It'll be a 3-ring binder, loose leaf. It's a little bit bigger to accommodate low vision. So that is being worked on now and will be distributed. I would love to tell you that it's perfect and we got everything right and nobody's telephone number or name was misspelt or email is wrong, but we know that's just not possible. There's just too many folks here. So if there is a mistake, please let us know, as I'm sure there'll be a couple, and we'll just reprint those pages for everyone. And then everyone who is interested in the photo directory, that will be posted as we discussed at the presentation a few weeks ago, online. If you do not have a good portal access, come see me in the next few weeks. We'll make sure that's working. But the member photo directory will be on the portal. We will have 2 printed copies, one for the archives and one right outside the office on the countertop for members to refer to if they choose. So that is coming up. Very excited to share that with you. And like we said, the goal is, as we have turnover each month, to provide new pages for the number directory. You'll see it in the directory and get that updated so you don't have to sit there and white things out and redo it. So, any questions on that I can answer really quick? I'll take like 2 or 1. No? Okay. And then the other thing I was going to say, do not forget we have the incentive for garage parking. If you are thinking of not using your spot anymore or you're in the process of getting rid of your vehicle, we'd love for you to receive that incentive. And I would love to get people off the parking wait list. So if you would help me out with that, that would be most appreciated. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Maybe my son will make another appearance on 990, so always stay tuned. He may make another appearance. We'll see. All of you have a wonderful week and weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Jake has obviously set the bar high for 990 broadcasts and attractions. I'm going to have a talk with my wife. Anyway, again, good afternoon, and thanks to Kara and Jake for the information that they were able to share with all of you. Updates. But there's one area, there's one topic that I would like to have a little bit of discussion about towards the end of this meeting. It is the most difficult thing that I deal with as general manager at 7500 York. It is probably overall the biggest challenge that all of us have here at 7500 York, whether it is as a board member, as a committee member, or on the staff. Who might guess what that topic is or that issue is that's the most challenging? Correct. Margie, communication. I just want to have some discussion and a little bit of interaction with you about communication at the end of our meeting. So we have about 30 minutes left here, and I'm just going to run through some updates that we have. These are familiar to you, I think most of them. Michael is sitting off to the side over here. I'm just going to get him a microphone because we'll certainly have some time for questions and answers on these, and most of these are in the realm of maintenance and repairs and projects that are going on around the building. And so Michael will be able to help me out or even take over when it comes to talking about some of these updates. I do want to, again, before we get into the updates, encourage everybody. We have a lot of respiratory illnesses that are going on around the building, in our community, in our state, around the country. COVID, of course, we are all familiar with. There are other respiratory illnesses as well as norovirus that is out there. Probably a lot of us, including myself, have had some challenges with these in the past week. I was suffering from, excuse me, pneumonia last week. I'm no longer contagious, but just want to encourage everybody, if you do have a respiratory illness, certainly if you have norovirus, to remain in your unit as much as possible. Don't go out and congregate with other members at events or whatever, and keep yourself safe and keep other members safe as well. And also, even if you are well and you're aware of viruses going out, you might want to consider wearing a mask when you go out to protect yourself if you have a suppressed immune system or a weakened immune system. So let's get into the updates here. The North Plaza, the waterproofing project, I shared last time that the North Plaza would not be available for activity this coming summer. That is still true. I would say that there may be some possibility that by the end of summer or late summer into fall that there might be able to be some use of it, but we won't know that for certainly a number of months yet. There's been a lot of questions about why don't we see any work going on out there? Why isn't there any work? There's no workers out there. I have shared before that there is work still going on with the waterproofing project. It has just been going on off-site. There has been additional engineering work, design work that has needed to be done, evaluation of what they found when they took the brick off around the perimeter of the plaza, and they opened that up and they found some situations there, one of them with some rusting or potential weakening of the steel structure that holds up the windows, as well as some a situation with the expansion joint that they did not anticipate finding, and then figuring out how to do the concrete work and the brick and mortar work when it comes to putting in the waterproofing that is behind that and comes down to the plaza. When they found these unexpected situations, they had to design it, engineering work, so that when the contractor goes in to put it back, they're not just slapping something in there, but they're following a sound design to rebuild that wall and to do the waterproofing. You should be seeing some workers out there starting tomorrow. They are going to start doing some of the concrete work as well as the brick and mortar work in the next days. They will be having heating at least the far end of where the plastic enclosure is, and blowing heat through there, because temperatures have to be high enough to do that concrete and brick and mortar work. So work has always been going on with the waterproofing project, but you will start seeing activity on site tomorrow and in the coming days. Humidification. The humidification project came out of having the rooftop units installed last July, and we contracted with our same vendor that did that to install humidification. That has been a more challenging project than at least we in the management company anticipated, and even our vendor has found it to be very challenging, because it's not new construction where they are installing this humidification. If you live on the 9th floor, you've seen the work going on at 3 different spots so far, and another one coming up in the next week or so, we anticipate. And they are putting these humidification steam pipes into the existing mechanical rooms up there that are near to each of the sets of elevators that are around the building. They are small spaces and a lot of parts. It's not something that follows a set design. The contractor has to figure it out as they go with the space that they have available. Also, once they got it installed, the steam pipes were creating a lot of additional heat, and we need to insulate those pipes to reduce the amount of heat that the steam pipes are giving off in those small spaces. So we also had to, even though we had started the humidification in the southwest quadrant of the building and the northeast quadrant of the building, you would have noticed more humid air in those areas of the building especially. The humidification and the additional production of steam, as well as some issues that we were having with steam traps. In the garage, there are about 30 or so steam traps. I can't describe to you how they function or what they do, but they're very important, and they have an impact on how the boilers function. And so the installation of the humidification steam pipes, as well as steam traps that either weren't working well or weren't working at all, and needing to be repaired. Those were having a negative impact on the boilers. You probably didn't notice, but this situation caused boiler number 1, the one that operates on natural gas and the one that we are using almost all the time, to shut down about 6 times over a period of a few days. It wasn't shut down very long, so that you would have noticed no hot water or a reduction of heat in the building, but it was something that needed to be dealt with by our maintenance team as well as our vendor to keep the boiler going, so that you're getting your hot water and you're getting your heat throughout the building and in your units. So we needed to shut down the humidification to stop that situation from happening, and we are working to resolve it both with insulating the steam pipes as well as fixing the steam traps down in the garage. I won't be able to answer any questions very well on that, but Michael is here. Does anybody have any questions about that whole situation? Humidification, steam traps, boilers, so on and so forth. It's a little bit complex, I admit. We are working very hard on it. We have been working very hard on it. All right, no questions on that. There's a question over here. Michael, can you lend the microphone there?
I just wondered what the goal is for the humidification.
If you could ask the question again with the microphone so those on 990 can hear.
I just wondered if Michael could tell us the goal for the humidification.
So the question is, what is the goal for humidification? Well, we're trying to humidify and bring moisture back into the common areas, which will eventually make it under your door and into your unit as well. You're going to notice some difference there. We are targeting 35 to 40% humidity levels. And I want to say that before we had to shut down humidification because of some of the issues that were arising, we did achieve that in both stacks, southwest, northeast. I did see we got up to 40% on the southwest very easily, and then we got up to 35% in the northeast stack before we had to shut down. So I know it works. We just need to finish, and it's a bugger. It's given us some hiccups and some hurdles we have to overcome.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that explanation on that. Let's move on to filter changes and battery changes, as well as smoke alarm, smoke detector changes. I just want to express our gratitude from management, specifically the maintenance department, as they worked to get into everybody's units starting back in December and continuing on into January. It's a large effort to get into everybody's unit, to get those filters in, to get batteries changed, to get the smoke alarms changed. We did end up having to go back a second time to many of your units to put in the smoke alarms. We apologize for any inconvenience on that. And certainly that is one of those issues where communication is very important, and we try our best. Sometimes we fall short in that area, but we appreciate everybody's understanding and patience. Any questions about filter changes or smoke alarm changes?
I
I just have one question. I'm in a one-bedroom, and I have two smoke detectors. One is inside my bedroom, one is outside my bedroom. I doubt very much a fire will start in my bedroom, probably in the kitchen, if God forbid. I'm just wondering about the placement. Is that how it was designed to be?
Yes, that is how it was designed to be. However, code changes over the years. So in 1978, when the building was built, there was a code. The old code read that each sleeping compartment needed a smoke detector. All right. Fast forward to, we're in 2025 now, but several years ago, the fire code changed. Several fire marshals got together and put their heads together and said, hey, if a fire reaches your bedroom, it's probably too late. So now, new code for new buildings is the smoke detectors have to be installed outside of the sleeping quarters and within, I believe, 6 or 8 feet of the door to each sleeping quarters or each bedroom. So if you have a 2-bedroom in the same hallway and one smoke detector out there, that would meet code because you're within the distance to the doors. Now, I posed that question to the Edina fire marshal, and I said, hey, I know that this is how it was years ago, not necessarily how it should be now, and you also have a hardwired smoke detector with a battery backup, as well as the smoke detector in each bedroom. And I said, we're kind of redundant, and I pointed out the old code versus the new code, and since we are up to code with the hardwired unit with the battery backup in your common area, they did not want to see us remove the smoke detectors from your bedrooms. So I do as I'm told, and that's the code. Nothing in the kitchen, but you do have your common area smoke detector, which would pick that up. Yeah. I do want to touch on smoke detectors real quick and explain, because Mitch didn't explain as well as I want you to understand. When we started to do the filter changes, the smoke detectors that are in your bedrooms was brought to my attention that it was a 10-year battery smoke detector. I was not aware that these smoke detectors were installed back in 2012. Okay? So upon finding out, I made a mass order of smoke detectors. And we got them in little by little by little, and that is why it took us so long to get back to you, because I want you to be safe, but I didn't want to postpone those any longer because some of them, maybe they were still working. But that's why we had to reorder and reorder and reorder smoke detectors, because we needed so many. So I believe we're good now.
Okay, thank you for the question, Barb, and the answer, Michael, and explanation there. Lobby and balcony project. I gave an explanation last time of why that has been on pause. It is coming out of the pause phase and is starting to move forward again. I am still waiting to get the electronic, the computer files of the schematic design work that was done by the the architectural company that we hired, but the the Lobby and Balcony Committee is moving forward and engaging the 2 other architectural design companies that had given presentations and proposals before, and looking to see if they are, I think they are both still interested, but having them re-present and give their updated proposals to hopefully move forward with one of them to finish the design work for the lobby and balcony renovation. Domestic hot water, the board voted on that, approved that, a $285,000 project to separate the heating of your domestic hot water. That's what goes to your units for use in the sinks and showers and so forth, and taking that off of the boilers to reduce the burden on the boilers, as well as provide a more stable source of hot water for your units that has some redundancy built into it. If one hot water heater needs repair, would go down, there are others that fill the gap on that and keep the hot water going. And so that process has started. There have been provisions for exhaust for that system going outside of the building. The hot water heaters have been ordered and a down payment made on those. So that project, which hopefully won't last too long, just an estimate, Michael, of how long that, assuming there are no hiccups, when that is expected to be completed.
The water heaters were ordered. They will be shipped on the 24th of this month. Our vendor will receive them on the 27th or 28th. And then I'm going to look to get that project finished, and hopefully you won't notice any more than a day without hot water. And there'll be probably 2 or 3 days, and there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, but the downtime for residents, I do expect to be about a day or 12 to 16 hours or so.
And so this will happen largely during February.
Probably, I'm hoping the first week in February.
Okay. More information, more updates to come on that as it happens. Carpet cleaning. We have had requests for replacements of replacement components, appliances, carpeting, so forth, in some members' units. As you will recall, going back months, there would be some members who would raise their hand in the meeting here and said, when will I be able to have such and such replaced in my unit? Well, we have received those requests from about half dozen or so members, and Michael and his team have been evaluating those, mostly for carpet, but also some for appliances. One thing that I would like to bring to your attention, and we will have more coming out about this, perhaps there will even be a policy coming out about this if the board chooses to do this. I'm not saying that they will or they won't. But one thing that is evident is that regular carpet cleaning should be done by each of you annually in your units. I think that is happening a bit, but probably not a lot, or probably not regularly by most members. And it is necessary to keep your carpets not just clean, but in good condition. So cleaning, doing regular cleaning, having a professional carpet cleaner comes in, maintains the life of your carpet as well. And when you have your carpet cleaned, it doesn't mean that everything has to be moved in your apartment. The carpet cleaners are going to come in and they are going to clean the areas that are used the most, the traffic areas, in the middle of everything, down your hallways, in the middle of your living room and dining room and around the bed and so forth. And so we are, I'm just introducing this right now. I don't think I've ever talked about this before. I'm almost certain of it. I don't know if this has ever been a topic of conversation broadly from management to the members in the past, but we are strongly suggesting, recommending that each of you have your carpets cleaned. That is at your own cost, and it's not a very high cost to have that done annually. And Michael is working to identify preferred vendors for members to use and to hopefully get also preferred costs or preferred pricing because of so many units here at the cooperative. So more information is going to come out as well on this, but I am saying that if you haven't had your carpets cleaned in years, many years, you might want to start looking at a time in the next few months to have your carpets cleaned. Certainly we know that companies like Zero Res and Stanley Steamer, we've seen them around the building here, and Michael has mentioned those. He's going to be talking to those representatives from those companies. But more information about who you should use and what the pricing in general is, but we are definitely saying members should be having their carpets cleaned annually, not only to keep them clean, but to maintain the good look or the nap, the good nap of your carpet. Any questions on carpet cleaning? Barb.
Right. Okay. After a carpet is cleaned, I agree with you, but sometimes there are areas that need restretching. Is that up to us as well?
That is almost, Michael's going to answer this after I say one thing about it. That is generally a management responsibility if it is standard carpeting in your unit to have that stretched.
Yes, if you've got buckling in your carpet or you've got some of those ribbons or waves, yes, please do notify us. We have Galaxy Carpet. They're very well versed in doing it. Doesn't take long at all, and we'll get that taken care of for you. We don't want anybody falling, tripping over those. That is a trip hazard. So please contact us and we can take a look at it, and then we'll make the arrangements to get that done for you.
Good question, thank you. And we did encounter that in one of the units that had a request for carpet replacement, and unbeknownst to us, the carpet was also having issues with rippling or buckling, and that needs to be taken care of. You should not have a tripping hazard in your unit. If you do, put in a work order, maintenance team will attend to that. This is the coming weekend for the brunch buffet in the Stop and Shop. I'm looking ahead. There's a faux pas. In the York Room. I believe the reservations are still open for that. The next thing on my list here is the closure of the Stop and Shop. That happened a half a week ago. It has been a topic of much discussion, understandably, here at the cooperative. That has been a long time amenity of the cooperative. I don't know how many years. Somebody asked me that question today, and I didn't know the answer, but I think it's been a long time that the convenience store has been there. It is necessary for the membership to know that the closure of the Stop and Shop was not an easy decision. The board of directors made that decision ultimately to do that. It did come as well as a recommendation from me that the Stop and Shop financially was not feasible, was not sustainable, and with a budget that has a lot of demands on it, is very stretched. You understand all of you, because you have seen your member fees go up by 10.9% this year, last year by 8%. I don't take that lightly. Certainly the Finance Committee and the Board of Directors that is responsible for making final decisions on that, but working with me and management and my team and committees to come up with the numbers that are necessary to keep the cooperative functioning. Continuing to run the Stop and Shop just means a bigger budget and higher member fees yet. I know there is some have made the suggestion, well, could members that are interested in keeping it going volunteer to pay a certain amount extra in their monthly fees to keep it going? Or could volunteers run the Stop and Shop? Those are all considered, evaluated, and the decision was made that it is best to have it stop functioning at this time, to cease operations, and to look at how does a convenience store, or there have been suggestions of running a bistro or a coffee shop or something separately from or together with the York Room restaurant. A convenience store concept or one of those other concepts will be looked at and considered as we have a consultant work with the cooperative, work with the board of directors, an ad hoc committee probably to evaluate not only what does the cooperative want and need as far as a continuing restaurant, and let me tell you that a continuing restaurant is not on the table to shut that down. I hear those rumors from time to time, but to consider how a convenience store or some iteration of a convenience store might be a part of the broader food service that the cooperative has, either together with or even separately from the York Room restaurant. Those things will be under consideration in these next months and couple of years. I've received questions, others have received questions. Well, what are you going to do with the Stop and Shop? What are you going to do with that area? We don't know yet. We've just only stopped operations, but I have been asked, and I will also pose to my team suggestions or recommendations of what to do with that space and other spaces here in the cooperative for their best use now and going into the future. So there have been no decisions made on that. There have been no decisions on a bistro. I keep hearing the cooperative's maybe the cooperative's going to have a bistro. It's been a suggestion that has been put out there as one form of what might happen. So there are lots of ideas being thrown around, either informally or formally if they're a part of meetings, but nothing has been decided yet. Any questions on the Stop and Shop or any of those? Barb. Thank you, and I appreciate your questions.
Thank you so much. Is it possible we can sell that freezer and refrigeration system up there somehow?
Just today, that topic came up, and it was posed in a meeting, and it was even on the brink of suggestion or recommendation in a meeting to do that. I asked that be put on pause until we fully evaluate what we might do with those, if we still want or need to use them in the meantime. So it's on a little bit of a pause of what to do with those.
I have inquired to a couple of spots if they have interest. Nothing is sold, but I have feelers out there. I've already looked into it.
So we're doing that all the time. You know, Michael's saying, I've put feelers out. He's checking to see, is there a market? You know, if the cooperative does want to, if the board approves selling something like that. So we're always doing behind the scenes work like that, so we can provide information to a committee or the board. It doesn't mean that those things are happening or that they have been approved. But things are always being talked about. Anything else there? Great. I just want to, I'm going to skip these last few things I have on here because I wanted to talk a little bit about communication, and I think we only have 10 more minutes on 990, don't we? We only have 10 more minutes on 990. We're a little bit long here. Communication. I'm often asked, what is the most challenging part of my job here? It's communication. We have many ways that we communicate with the membership here, and even internally with the board of directors, with committees. We communicate through email. We communicate through paper being delivered to your apartments. We communicate by 990. We communicate through the newsletter. We communicate through the coming events pamphlet that is put out, as well as the calendar that's put out. Word of mouth is a communication. Meeting minutes, committee meeting minutes, board meeting minutes are methods of communication. One call, we try to limit that to emergency or urgency types of situations so that we don't overuse that, so that when you do get a one call, you don't just blow it off and say, I'm just getting another announcement or another piece of information. When you get a one call, that's something that's important. We always want you to pay attention to and look at those. The emails that I send out to most of you, we don't have everybody's email address, either because some haven't shared it with us, or there are even some members who may not have an email address. We do our best to communicate as efficiently and as best that we can to each of you to get information out. There is no perfect avenue for doing that, because all of you as members have your preferences of how you wish to get communication. When I first arrived here, basically the only communication was by paper being delivered to members' units, as well as the newsletter and the bulletin boards as well. I didn't mention bulletin boards as well. And we as a management company, myself, Jake, others, have tried to bring additional and more efficient methods of communication to you so that you get it more readily, you get it faster, in more dependable ways. It depends on us to do our job and to do it well. It depends on you to access the different information points, as well as to provide us with your email addresses, with your telephone numbers and such, so that we can use those and get the information to you. I just want to say we're doing our best. We fall short sometimes. I realize that. I apologize for that. But boy, do we work hard at doing that. I would like to take any questions or concerns about communication that members have, because I certainly want to hear them and want to hear concerns.
I'd like to add one comment to the communication system that you set up, because I think there are 3 other opportunities that are available. One is today's managers meeting. The fact that you have this every month at 2 o'clock, and look at the turnout. This is wonderful when so many people come, and I assume there are a lot of that are listening on 990. And I think that's a valuable way to not only get the most recent information from Mitch, but also be able to ask questions. The second similar opportunity is the last Sunday night of the month, when the board report occurs at 7 o'clock on the last Sunday night of the month, and we usually have about this kind of attendance and people on 990. We take questions and so forth. And then the third way is for the York Dining Room, the food forum that's held on the second Thursday of every month at 10 a.m. And many of you come to the food forum to get information from Nick on what's happening with the dining room and to be able to make suggestions for menu items and to ask him questions. And I think at all 3 of those forums, we are getting really good participation from you, and that hopefully what you learn there you can pass on to your neighbors who maybe haven't tuned in, but it also gives you the chance to ask your questions, and I hope you feel that you're getting good answers. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rhiannon, and I appreciate that, and you have proven my point that I fall short at times. I failed to mention those 3 avenues of communicating, and yeah, there are just so many, and we work very hard at it. If anybody has any recommendations for other ways to communicate, please share them with me. You can email me at any time. There is always the unofficial way of communicating at this cooperative and any other place, and that is to share information that might not be verified, or that you might have heard your neighbor say, but you're not sure where that came from, and you share it with somebody else. And that can be a challenge, because then I need to communicate to correct things that are incorrect that are going around. So I thank you for your input, and Michael has something else here.
I have one final thing I want to bring forward. Hopefully we're still on 990. I've gotten a lot of questions about heat in the hallways. Okay, I want you to know that there isn't a whole, I don't know everything, but there isn't a whole lot that I don't know and that I'm not working on. I'm notified by my phone at all hours of the day and night. I'm notified by my computer what's going on in the building, because we have some new building automation that follows me wherever I go. Now, the heat in the hallways I want to address specifically, and this is humidification installation related. When we're working on humidification in one of the stacks to install it, we have to turn that particular rooftop unit off. So that means that that stack does not get heat. So I have to compensate by bumping up some of the other stacks to help compensate for the area or the corner of the building, 4 corners to the corner of the building that isn't currently getting heat for that day or that day and a half. Also, when we do that work, as I said, we do need to shut that down because it's not safe. We can't operate a unit when we have to open it up and there's fans and there's ductwork and whatnot in there. So my point, we do know about this, but it is humidification related. Once that is done and installed, then we have to go back and we have to fine tune the system and distribute the air equally on each floor. So currently it's a little off. So it may seem a little bit hotter at times, but I'd rather have you a little bit hotter when it's sub-zero than not at all. So thank you, but we do know about it, but that's kind of the short story. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay.
Seeing none, thank you. It's good to know. Michael mentioned something that's very important. Property managers, and in the case of this building, the director of property, we are tied to our phones. We live by our phones. I don't go anywhere that my phone does not go. The only time that I don't have my phone on me is when I am in the shower.
Or on the beach, when you're on vacation.
No, I had it, I just couldn't hear it when the sprinkler was going off on the 9th floor. The systems of this building, the heating system, the boiler, everything to do with that is tied into Michael's phone. He has his phone with him all the time. We are on call 24/7, 365. Property managers don't, we can take time off, but that time off might be interrupted at any time. You didn't mention the weekend as well. Anytime during the day, at night, and on the weekend. We are always on call. That's just the life of property management. Thank you for coming this afternoon, and have a great rest of the week.
That was a lot of stuff. You did a good job.
Always a lot of
Yeah.
Always a lot of stuff.